So the next part of the build will be the arms of the Stark Jegan CCA-MSV. And first thing, before we proceed, I want to point out that Dr. Rollis pointed out that CCA stands for Char's Counterattack, which of course means that it was a variation of the Stark Jegan from the, I guess probably from the manga series or something. But it was, I think, yeah, it was never part of the Unicorn series. So I am corrected. So thank you for pointing that out. I'll still see episodes. I'll probably watch the Unicorn episodes anyway, just to see how cool it was during that battle. But anyway, let's move on. So again, some parts needs to be omitted, some parts that you don't need to put on. We'll focus that in a moment. So the first thing you will need to build will be the shoulder part, or the actual connector here. So you have this polycap there, followed by these two parts. Then you have this part here. One goes there. The other one goes here. Very simple. And it's designed in a way where it goes around the trim here. So you could probably waste a lot of time sanding this down, but some parts are going to go over it, so you don't have to worry about it. It's mainly these. So you have this part. One goes, I believe, here. And the other one goes there to form this. Now, before we move on to the next stage, let's now assemble the missile pack. This is off still part of the original build. Put the missile pods here, and put that there to look like that. Now this is where it becomes a little unique. So you take this part here, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe this one goes there, and this one goes here. Now, the missile pack here has two holes. Since this is the right, I believe this is the right arm. No, excuse me, this is the left arm. You want to make sure that this one goes here, but before you do that, stick this part here first. So it looks like this. See? Then you take this and you slide this into here. Let me double check something in the manual. Yeah, I think that's how it is. Because I don't think the missiles go in any other position. Those go in the back area. Yes, so I did it right. So that's how it looks. Now there are other parts that makes up the arms, so you don't need to put them on because it's not going to have the. I guess it doesn't need anything else on that, but I'm going to check it out anyway. Now that I'm looking at it, even though I'm looking at the manual, it doesn't say not to continue, but it does just, like in the original picture, doesn't show that extra armored parts yet. If you look at the original design, it has the armored parts, but I think I'm not going to put it on because I'm following the original, you know, the new setup. So we have this part that goes here. Then it goes here, like so. So make sure it's like that in this position. And then you have this that you want to stick this part here. I didn't clean this up. It's shameful of me, but I'll clean it up in a minute. We do want it to turn. That one goes here. Correction. That goes there. And then this one goes here. So we have the left fist goes there. There you have it. The arms and missile pack of the Stark Jegan CCA-MSV is complete. I kind of like how it is set up in a way where, you know, it's not a part that is separate that you have to put tape on, you know, stickers on. It's a separate missile pod which can be painted separately. The actual missile system itself, you definitely do need to do some sanding here and here so it's conformed. This one can be sanded. What I find it very difficult would be the missile pod itself, because how how it's in the curve, you know, in a curvature state. Hopefully, I mean, once I remove this, like if you remove this, you can sand it down, but then you may end up sanding off these parts as well. So yeah, that's something you need to be very careful, as well as this, because it is part of the trim. This one is even worse, because you have the thruster parts here, so that could be a challenge for those of you who are prepared, you know, planning to paint this. Arms are easy to sand off, that's no big deal, so I don't see any issues with sanding it down and painting it. The only difference is, of course, that these missile pods are not designed to pretend to be fired, because they're in this position. I'm not digging how it's very loose and can come off, so I'll probably be putting a glue on. But experienced modelers out there will probably end up finding a way to cutting this off, cutting off the separations, cleaning it up, scratch building these parts here so they can put it here, and then that way it looks a lot more neater and maybe put more detail in holding it up. But that's just my interpretation of anybody who's probably going to do something like that. So, well, these arms are done. Let's now move on to the next part of the build. Next up is going to be the legs. A lot of parts with the legs here for the Stark Jegan. We'll begin with the feet, which is pretty simple. All you need to do is put these two together, followed by this part here. Make sure you line it up right. You don't want it to fall into the wrong place. Then you have a hard time pulling it out. Then you take this polycount, falls into this place here, and then you put it like that. There you go. That completes the foot. Now we need to prepare the inner thigh armor, or excuse me, inner thigh frame. So you'll need these two parts here. So that goes like that. Actually, no, I'm sorry. The opposite direction. So it goes like that. Then you take, I believe it's this one. Nope, not that. Nope, it's the smaller one. Yes. Now, in the format it was in, I gotta look at this right. If it's like that, and this has to be like this. Like that. So it looks like this. And then put it in like so. Now, this is the left leg. So this one goes like that, right here. This one goes from behind, like so. And then here, this one goes in the front. Like that. So it looks like this. Now, I believe that one goes there. That one goes here. connect it like so. We have a rear thruster that goes here. And this part, no, excuse me, this part goes here. I kind of like this piece of plastic, even though there's no indication of how it's held up extra. Like, you have to do this to hold it up into place. So it's looks like that, and the whole purpose of that is because there's a part here that I forgot to clean. Oh, I thought I had it here. Let's remove it. So, alright, so just clean it up a bit. So now, as you can see, that comes out easy. So you put them on. I think this one you have to put glue on, but I wonder if it can be easily be put on afterwards. I don't know. So this one goes here. It goes all the way. Then you have that side. Ooh, I knew I forgot something. Ah. Oh, silly me. So I gotta remove all this. Actually, no, I don't have to. That goes like that. This goes here. Because that's for this. That's where I made the mistake. Well, at least I don't have to pop the whole thing open. So that goes there again. There we go. Now we put this back here again. Followed by this little side thruster. And then this one goes here. Wait. Yeah, are you kidding me? Oh, it's the other way. I'm batting 1,000 today. You see, kids? This is what happens when you don't look at the manual and you do it on memory and it doesn't work. So, let me look at it correctly again. Okay, I see where my goof is. So, that, pop this out, that goes here. Alright. You would think that this would be simple and easy, but nope. Alright, so then that goes here, and that goes here. Alright. The legs of the Stark Jegan CCA-MSV is now complete. What I was trying to say was, in regards to painting, well, obviously, you know, sanding down these parts is a necessity. But if you ever have to paint this by itself, I think maybe if I can remove this, you can probably remove this without losing anything. I mean, yeah, sanding this down here, sanding that, then painting the overall. And I guess if you, as it's stuck together, you know, maybe, you know what, it'll open up. Maybe it'll snap in, who knows. But you could always sand it down and make it like a line art type trim And then once you put it on, just put a little glue to hold it into place. But this is kind of like how I'm thinking of how to tackle this if you want to paint it separate. And then that way it doesn't give you this, you know, the issues of figuring out where to, you know, taking it apart and putting it together. Overall, everything is okay. Even the armor can be removed, painted separately, because I don't think there's, you know, it is part of the line out here. I'm thinking of, like, if you have to, like, merge parts together to glue them and look, you know, okay, but Bandai was thoughtful enough to incorporate the panel lining with the separations of the parts. So it's a good idea. This would be a very simple kit to build. The one thing that I'm surprised that they didn't do is making the legs, you know, making it 2 parts. I thought maybe there'd be 4 parts or something like that, like 2 parts here and 2 parts here and open and close, but maybe that wasn't the case. Anyway, well, that's my thought. So this is completed. Let's now move on to the next part of the build.